Hi, this is Lauren from Governor State University STEAM Camp. Today I will be showing you how to make a lily, an origami lily. This is one of the most well-known pieces when it comes to origami. For me, it's like right after a fortune teller or a paper boat or a crane. I think lily when I think of origami. So I think it should be really fun and interesting. Here I have the folding diagram in front of me. I'm just showing you that. Reminder is that the blue lines represent valley folds and the red lines represent mountain folds. It's hard to see in that light, but right here I have the diagram. I counted up 128 mountain folds and 100 valley folds, and that might seem like a lot in terms of the amount of lines that are actually there. But everywhere a line is intersected is counted as a new fold. So if there's these big long lines, every single time it touches another line, that is counted as a new fold. So with this in mind, Maekawa's theorem states that in order for an object to be flat foldable, M, meaning mountains minus valleys, equals plus or minus 2. So in this case we have 128 mountains and 100 valleys, meaning that we have a quantity of 28, which means an origami lily is not flat foldable. So let's move on to the actual instruction of the piece. Taking that away from there, grabbing my paper, and it's orange. I don't know why I chose orange, it was just calling out to me. So my paper is double-sided for easy instruction. I'm folding my paper in half. And this is the makings of what's called the balloon base. It's one of the most common bases in origami. And folding it the other side in half. Opening it up, and folding diagonals. Yeah, you can see I messed up in the corner right there. One thing that's nice about this paper is I can see exactly how off I am. So I just adjusted that again. Try to keep it as straight as possible. Okay. And opening that back up and doing the other diagonal. Perfect. And now we're moving on to the actual balloon base of this. I am taking it'll end up looking like a triangle at the end. So I folded one side into the middle, you can see there. And I'm about to do the same with the other side. Yeah, you can see I messed up a little bit there. It's just part of the whole deal. And this is what's called a squash fold. And that was a completed balloon base. Now we're moving on to the actual construction of the lily. So I'm taking one of the side parts and pushing it up, and this is again what is called a squash fold. This is probably the best example of it. You're taking the pointed part and you're basically pushing it down so it's even but flat. I don't know, it's hard to describe. And then I'm doing the same with the other side. You'll be doing this with all 4 corners. Opening it up and doing another squash fold. I poke the edge with my finger to make sure it actually like releases and I can fold the entire length of it. Okay. And then I take one edge of my origami paper, and so I can do the other side of my squash folds. Taking that, pushing it down squashing it down. Sorry that these are not very good descriptors. It's probably better just to watch the video. So I have the final piece. So I'm taking that, opening it up, pushing down on it, making sure everything's straight, and perfect! Woo! And now we're moving on to the next step. We're taking the open parts of the origami and pushing it towards, like, the corners towards the center. You can see the open part is where I had the whites. Pushing the corner to the center. You'll see we had the crease there. Perfect. And I'm creating a line where the two pieces stop. And this is yet another squash fold. Takes some time, but you are essentially pushing those pieces of paper into the middle on the opposite side. If you saw the spiral rose thing, it's the same technique. It's confusing, it'll take some time. It doesn't have quite the effect of like the bird beak as the spiral rose did, but yeah. Perfect. That's one side done. The other sides would probably be a little bit easier to see. And you want to go where the paper is nice and flat, not open. And I'm taking the corner and meeting it in the center, creasing it. Perfect. And there's already that fold there, that crease, so I'm pushing the piece of paper towards the center of the other side. This is again a squash fold. Pushing gently. Trying to get as smooth and straight as possible. Perfect. That's 2 that are done. This video will be a lot of repetition because there's going to be 4 flower petals and all of that, so it's going to happen 4 times. Everything's going to happen 4 times. And so I'm taking the open side of the paper, taking the corner, meeting it in the middle there, at that crease, doing the other side as well. Perfect. And there's that crease already there from the time we folded it before. We're opening it up, folding the paper up, taking the paper from the other side and forcing it into the middle of the opposite side. Perfect. And you might be able to see me leaning towards the camera. It's prime focus mode, so. Okay, doing the other side. Pushing gently. Alright, now we only have one side left. Okay, and taking the open side, taking the corner and meeting it at the middle. Creasing it. Perfect. Might get a little bit more difficult as you go on because there's not quite the cushion that you had for the first, second, and third ones, but it's part of the process. Doing the final squash fold for this. Folding that down. Taking the paper and meeting it towards the middle of the other side. See, sometimes little crinkly bits will happen, and you just gotta gently work it out. It sucks whenever your paper tears, so I try to avoid that as much as possible by moving slowly. Okay. There we go, we have one completed base for the lily. Now I am taking the side that was not open, i.e. the bottom side, the pointiest side, and taking the corner and meeting it in the middle, like we did for the squash fold, but there is no more squash folds involved with this. Yeah, it sort of creates like a diamond. And I'm moving over to the other side, grabbing another petal, taking one corner, meeting it in the middle, pushing gently but firmly. Okay. A reminder, this is not the open side, this is the bottom side. You should not be able to open the bottom part. So you're taking the corner, meeting it in the middle, creasing. See, you can sort of see the flower petals forming. Creasing that, and we are on to the last petal. Taking that, ooh, messed up a little bit there. Taking that, creasing that towards the middle. That one too. Perfect. Okay, and you'll see something magical happening. We're creating the petals now. Taking the petals and folding them down. I want to do this gently as well because I've ripped petals before. And I'm out of frame. There we go, we're back. Still out of frame. I'm good at this. Folding the petals down. There we go, we got 3 done. Here comes the final one. The lily's almost complete. There you have it. You have completed lily there. These are always really pretty. I think they're a really interesting shape at the bottom and at the top. It's a wonder how origami came to be because I would not have been able to create this by myself. Yeah, there's the inside of it and there's what the outside looks like there. Yeah, I really enjoy this. I do this one quite frequently as well. It's interesting to see how the folding guide turned into this flower, but hey, it did with a little bit of hard work and some time. And that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. I am more than happy to help. See you later.